His voice carried that familiar rasp, a bit gravelly from years of pipe smoke, as he tossed the suitcase into the trunk with a smirk that said he expected me to shuffle after him, pleading in my old slippers. I stayed put at the kitchen table, hands wrapped around a mug of coffee, strong, a touch overbrewed, just how it suited my taste these days. From the window, I watched Harold. He preferred Harry, but I'd always called him Harold in my quieter thoughts, slam the car door, glance back once, hoping for a scene. There was none. The gate creaked shut, the engine coughed to life, louder than it had any right to be in our sleepy little street. And then the dust settled, and he was gone. 30 years of shared roofs, ended in a handful of minutes and one firm click of the latch. The quiet that followed wasn't a void, it was a gentle hush, like the house itself sighing in relief. I lingered there, eyes on the old ceramic mug with its hairline crack along the handle. Harold used to grumble that it made me look like I couldn't afford better, but it fit my grip perfectly, warmed my palms just right. I'd braced for collapse, figured an old man like me would crumble when the day came, shaky knees, lost without direction. Instead, I reached for the tin of oatmeal biscuits, took one, and savored the crumbly sweetness in the stillness. He hadn't taken much, a few shirts, his tablet, shaving kit. Left the books he never cracked open, the toolbox he swore he'd tinker with someday. Didn't even mention the spare keys. That spoke volumes about his certainty, he figured he'd wounded me deep. But Harold never saw how I'd faded inside, not from giving in, but from patient reckoning. Every nod to his barbs, every time I slid my debit card across the counter, I'd been tallying it all in my head. A ledger that would one day make departure not just feasible, but rightful. He never spotted the name on the accounts, either. That was the true twist. I rinsed the mug, left the counter unwiped. The place felt airy now, unburdened, like it had been holding its breath for decades. I wandered to the living room. His recliner still bore the sag of his frame, tilted left where he'd slump with the remote tucked beside him. He'd fuss if I claimed the wrong seat. I settled in it now, legs crossed, gazing at the water-stained ceiling, a soft chuckle escaping me. The grandfather clock ticked on. I recalled how he'd speak to me in company, like I was hard of hearing or simple, cutting in, correcting facts I knew cold. He gets muddled easy, he'd wink. I wasn't muddled. I just quit justifying myself, never set him straight when he assumed the nest egg was joint. I let him hold the reins in his mind. The house his domain. Me, fortunate to have him. Let him believe it, right up to the moment he zipped that bag and muttered, "You'll be sorry, Henry. You think you're tough, but you're not." I said nothing, just noted the faint quiver in his fingers. That was the surprise for him, my steady calm. He craved theatrics, me begging or breaking, so he could swagger off victorious. Instead, he got my turn back in a fresh pot of coffee. The phone buzzed once, his number. I ignored it. Knew it'd be some half-hearted jab, a veiled plea. No interest. I eased open the drawer, pulled out the small black ledger I kept beneath old fishing magazines. Flipped through, ticking items with a firm hand. Utilities in my name alone, 2 years back. Attorney's documents sealed. Deed, Henry Wilkins, sole proprietor. Account opened 3 years prior, Harold's name nowhere. Will refreshed last fall. He thought he'd left me adrift. Truth was, I'd been charting this course longer than he'd dreamed. For the first time in ages, my chest rose easy. Folks figure old men weep when partners vanish. I didn't weep. Didn't even clear my throat. I returned the ledger, fetched the wood polish from the shelf. With Harold gone, I could tend the oak cabinet my way, no complaints about foolish old-timer rituals or fussing over furnishings. He never grasped that some of us polish not to show off, but to think clearly. Circling the rags slowly, I drifted back to when I let Harold settle in. We weren't spry then. I was 58, widower with a mortgage-free home and a modest pension from the mill. He was 62, twice divorced, declaring he needed a man with a gentler spirit. I took it for kindness. Really, he needed shelter, warm meals, someone who wouldn't pry. He eased in bit by bit. A drawer, a razor. Then his armchair planted in my space like a throne I couldn't shift. I didn't object. Figured comfort was due. But his came pricey. Early on, charming, mended the gate, drove to the hardware store, little favors. Soon they dwindled. Forgot the lawn mower, claimed driving hurt his knees, said I was handier with chores anyway. I recall the precise evening I saw he'd stopped caring. Autumn, leaves blazing like embers. I brought him tea on the porch, he took it without a glance. No sugar, he grumbled. Told you we were low. Sighed for the whole block to hear. Added, little things keep a man around. I chuckled under my breath. He missed it. After, the shift was gradual. No yells, no blows, he was sly. But the jabs piled like snowdrifts, heavy in time. Mocked my westerns, nitpicked my flannels, dismissed my woodworking. Who needs another birdhouse? I quit carving, not convinced, but weary of the noise. Then money. He offered to manage bills. I refused. Compromised, I covered mine, he handed cash. 2 months, then nothing. Spot me, buddy. That's when I opened the solo account. He never inquired. Assumed shared. I'd learned from my first wife, Clara, sweet but sloppy with papers. Untangling after she passed took forever. Vowed no joint signatures again. While Harold bragged to his son about building a life with Henry, I slipped to the bank. Quiet transfers, pension, social security, alerts. Months on, utilities solo. He didn't notice, too busy lording over what he thought was his. I finished the last drawer, stepped back. The cabinet glowed warm. Harold despised it, dust trap, better for a flat screen. I kept it. Some lines you don't cross. The phone rang again, him. Voicemail. I roamed the house, inventorying. His absences in corners, space blooming. Thought loneliness would creep, but it was room, for me, for air, for reflection. Sat at the dining table, head spot for 29 years, claiming his view. Felt right, truthful. Drew curtains, yard basked in gold. Neighbor Mr. Ellis watered petunias, tipped his hat. I nodded back. Wondered what he'd think of Harold's empty drive. Maybe zip. Maybe plenty. Harold figured I'd flounder. I'd drawn the map already. He rang next dawn, twice by 8. Voicemail, then phone off. Weather fine, sun mild, breeze kind to laundry. I pinned shirts outside, no eyes on me. Harold hated the line, wasteful, use the dryer. But I loved the snap, the deliberate pace for myself alone. Noon, trash out, odd envelope in the box, no stamp, my name in his scrawl. Didn't open yet. Made a ham sandwich, strong coffee, ate in peace, envelope waiting like an uninvited kin. Post-lunch, slid it. 4 lines, hurried slant, Henry, don't be stubborn. Needed space for us both. Back in a week or so. Talk then. Harry. No sorry, no remorse, just cocky assumption departure was strategy. Folded it, filed with others. Not his first, thinking drive. Once 4 days, returned reeking of bar and bluff about a war pal. Used to fret me. Now, background hum. A man like Harold hadn't faced himself long enough to know what quiet unveils. Doubted he'd last wherever. Afternoon tires on gravel, gut twitch from habit. Not him. His son Troy. Same flashy grin, leather coat despite heat. Visited yearly, tax time mostly. Harold lit up, but eyes darted to my checkbook drawer. Troy exited with cheap beer and wilted daisies. Mr. W, cheerful. Miss me? Not particularly. Dad said he needed air, offering flowers like payoff. Stopped to check on you. Didn't take them. Here for something specific? Or just timing practice? Grinned, unfazed. Love this porch. Best view around. He trailed me to kitchen, uninvited, cracked a beer, sprawled. I allowed it, some tangos and proper. Dad's musing downsizing, sip. House too big now. Quick work, Harold gone a day, vulture's circle. That so? Tone level. Yeah. Assisted spot, sell high. Glance testing. Silence from me. Got a contact. Real estate's my game. Good cut. Funny. First I hear. Dad spared you worry. Proceeds, new truck, vacation maybe. Audacity dull, not stinging. I'll mull it, rose. Take the flowers. Blinked. For you. Never cared for daisies. Calm. Didn't escort. Turned to sink. 10 minutes, car gone. Evening, black ledger, new locks, lawyer, CDs to vault, deed review. They thought me the polite check writer still. Hadn't seen I'd tallied every receipt. The day I quit grilling his steaks was when I inhaled free. No fanfare, just soup for one, no second bowl. 6 months back. He noticed, where's mine, in stained shirt. Fridge. Microwaves there. Laughed. Mad? Tired. Truth. Tired of plating while he griped. Tired of clearing alone. Tired of butler without a name. Quit more after, no pill reminders, no favorite tobacco, no aftershave refills sans thanks. Chilly lately, eyeing folded socks. Quiet. Difference. He huffed, porch calls loud on speaker. Quit caring if intentional. More I receded, more he prodded. Suggested ditching my watch, flashy for home. Met his gaze, only you notice, Harold. Silenced him days. Knew his game, shrink me till I snapped, fuel for fight. I didn't. Unhooked gentle. In that vacancy, I breathed anew. One noon, bank solo. Routine, I said. Wanted fresh sight. Met Ms. Carver, set my account years prior. Still content, Mr. Wilkins? Yes. But confirms sole access. No joints, no transfers. Nodded, printed, signed. Safe deposit query, vault tour, chill steel grounding. Rented instantly. Home, shifted bonds, CDs, pouch with father's cufflinks, grandfather's pocket watch. Showed Harold once, appraise M. Meant cash, not heart. Didn't say moved. Evening, dinner. Ate. Lie, but firm. He lingered, air thick, confused. Near pity. Near. New notion stirred, steady, like latch clicking true. He saw mood. It'd pass. Missed I no longer feared his loss. I was set. And as the sun dipped low that evening, a knock came at the door, unexpected, insistent, pulling me toward a confrontation I'd long prepared for, but never truly expected. They returned on a Sunday, tires crunching like they owned the gravel. I was on the porch trimming rosemary when Harold's old sedan pulled in, Troy riding shotgun, grin already gleaming. Harold emerged with a crinkled bag of donuts from the corner shop. Brought those jelly ones you favor, he said, extending like peace offering. Gave me indigestion, but I left it. Pass. Troy chuckled over loud, slapping the railing. Solid as ever, eh? They lingered, Harold poking cabinets, Troy echoing, prime layout, sunlight, resale gold. Mind the yard? Troy asked, already striding. Weeds thrive this season. I sat inside, hand steady, hostess to unbidden guests. Drawers shifted, doors tapped. When they returned, Harold's voice warmed falsely, ever consider selling? Not deeply. Big upkeep solo. I handle. What if mishap? Roof's ancient. Furnace from Reagan era. Eye to eye, Harold, checking welfare or valuing. Caught blink. Just concern. You speculate. Troy smiled smooth, no rush, Mr. W, market hot. My outfit, top dollar. Easier pad, cash left. Who claims this? Quiet. You. Pause. No one says. I rose. I have. They departed soon. Harold, I'll ring. Troy, listings email. Nodded like I'd browse. Door locked behind, bedroom bound. Fireproof safe down, property folder spread. Deed, Henry Wilkins alone. Signed deliberate post-lawyer chat, Henry, affection doesn't grant claim to your worth. Wise soul. Phoned her. Wednesday slot. No haste. Airtight updates. Sleepless not from dread, but lucidity. Let Harold parade like proprietor. Now with entourage, eyeing soil for flags. Troy scanned like swatches in mind. Ledger, survivorship, trust, copies to nephew Ben. Review contacts. Quiet when truth ceases lies. Bank dawn. Purposeful, unseen. Age's gift, no one expects drive. Gray slacks, denim shirt, Harold dubbed Undertaker casual, but calm, neutral. Ms. Condell greeted professional, no Harold query. File up. Assistance, Mr. Wilkins. Manila out. Transfers. Fully shielded. From. Companion. Unwed, unlisted, but curious. Understood. Forms, retirement separate, investments too. Checking/savings house linked, private division, individual flag, online only. Proceed. Beneficiary. Nephew Ben Langley. Others? None. 20 minutes, signatures, temp checks, her card. Changes, me first. Thank you. Not first. Not alone. Out feeling unpermitted no more. Bakery roll, warm, whim. Porch tea, driveway mine. Harold 5 days gone, calls ignored, polite to pressing. Lawyer packet, deed reaffirmed, cohabitation revoked, blunt, ironclad. Trust drafting, Ben executor, listener. 4. Locksmith. Dawn swift, 3 locks fresh. Extra keys. 2 purse, 1 safe. Windows open night. Silence rich, complete. Harold claimed I'd unravel alone. I aligned. Left papers neat, clipped, posted, sign routine. Kitchen, by Pepper. Sunhaven escrow header. Kettle whistled, tea steeped dark. Read, co-ownership transfer off, retitle intent, disclosure. Unsigned, me first. Clever lazy. Folded aside. No rage. Steam rose, thought, return play. Week since exit. Return sans bag, post office trip, living room, feet up, TV blaring like norm. Back, I said. Brief. Air needed. His apology version. Nodded, no welcome, no boot. Needed wind read. Blue to deed. Evening, milk run, 3 hours, no milk. Envelope, return to sender. Pillow morning. 2 days mute. Breakfast, forms. Looked. No. Stare like foreign. No. Correct. Not major. Planning. No. Control. Still no. Paranoid. Awake. Rose hard. Think theft. Think rewrite settled. Unaccustomed my no. Fists half. Help repaid thus. Silent. Stormed, ungrateful codger mutter. Slam. 10 count, exhale. Cameras, nephew installed 2 months back, discreet. Noon replay, trunk folder 2, hesitate, drive. Ledger, cameras live. Deed sure. Lawyer alert. Harold misjudges no more. Thought out wheat, grind. Missed, quiet not frailty, preparation. But as I closed the ledger that night, the phone rang again, not Harold, but a voice from decades past, stirring memories I buried deep, threatening to unearth a secret I'd guarded even from myself. Mocked my hat at checkout. Tuesday groceries, shared ride, Harold needed items, meaning cart junk on my dime. Wore my wool cap, patched but warm. Cashier lad, cool hat, sir. Thanks. Older than you. Harold boomed, won't buy new, hoards relics. Lane heads turned. Closets full Truman era. Tell him, not antique roadshow. Smile locked. Paid cash, card out. He empty-handed. Trunk shut, faced, feel big. Huh. Shamed me to kid. Joke. Jokes land laughs. I roll. Touchy. No. You boisterous. Silent ride. No sorry. Tilted eternal. Night study, drawer, birth cert, taxes, legal red. Will 4 years, split bend/shelter. Harold temp caretaker clause, gentler era. Scratched update. Dawn lawyer, remove total. No exec, no temp. Done. Trust direct, he off deed, no say. Plus clause, petty legal. Chuckle. Example. Post-death, entry been present or 1 box belongings. Only. Feasible. Blue cap launder gentle, line dry, closet rear. Not shame, point made. Booked cruise my card. Cancelled pre-pack. Friday smug polite, coffee unasked, I skipped. Laptop open rare, screen, cruise confirm, my name lead, balcony, paid full my card unknown to him. Ledger card, call cancel unauthorized. Polite fax, gone, refund mine. Evening brochure flourish, surprise for us. Stressed you. Cancelled. Falter. Why? How? My funds, unasked. Us. You. Asked would be us. Defensive. Not bankrupt. Permission thought joy. Boundaries thought. Crumpled. Unbelievable. Awake. Slam rattled frames. Storm brewed, wind whipped. Another. Passwords all shifted night. Porch key trash. Vacation had, sans him. Slammed, regret. Smiled. Meant blaze, no spark. Towel in hall, door shut quiet. Storms prior, bar, sun, motel post cooking insult query. This, big suitcase, broken will, long haul. No buy, no need check. Curse habit. Car fade. No window. Kitchen rinse, good mug violets chip, Harold cheap jab. Porch glider, low sun, breeze trees. Once carried his phone gripes. Now birds, my breath. Yard modest, grass, maples, chimes he loathed, regret clang. Trusted weather to me. Tea sip, all/nothing. Groceries in, clean, silence earned. Figured panic, call, beg. Self-talked yearly, silences, shoulders cold, concerns. Hardware old timer. Unravel sans me. Wrong. Rhythm found. Hours, refill, Fern's water, ledger, dawn 3:42. No address. Sunset, light on, dinner toast eggs tomato. Solo place. No candle need. Closet small case Ben visits. Bedroom, emptied his drawers, folded, bagged, door side. One box. Shirts razor shoes pills. Morning curb. Pickup or donation. Bed mine full. 3 days, rattle drive. Garden roses, shears paws slam. No knock, keys jingle loud. Henry. Silent. Yard, phone bag biscuits. Crestling ginger. Rose slow apron wipe. Wordless. Tired unshaved scuff sweat. Forced smile. Talk, air clear. Bag him. No milk again. Weak laugh. Point. Heated, but worse survived. No. Still cruise. Done mad. Difference. Porch sit tense. Hard live. Imperfect. You tough too. Nod. Perk. Changed. Cold. Sang once kitchen. Quit day ghost called. Shift. Not mean. Said. Gesture speech. Trash history. Feelings. Cruise. Papers. Steady. Not issue. Pattern. Meaning. Lived prior, smile, silence, no peace. Too old repeat lone fear. Narrow. Regret. Thinner. No. Forward. My home. Never. Resided. Landed. Mouth work. Die lone. Shake. Live lone. Differ. Long stare. Car, no slam. Fridge, biscuits trash. Yet as his taillights vanished, a plain envelope slid under the door, bold script, no stamp, whispering promises or threats from his son, forcing me to confront how far they'd go to claim what was never theirs. Letter mailbox dawn post Jack final. Pruning roses early, path back, white envelope bold, Mr. Henry Wilkins. Hand drop, favor or warning. Thumb flap, table set, tea. Waited day. Vacuum, quilt resume, block walk air legs free. Envelope patient. New lines, Troy echo loud. Charm flowers, we worry, help equals ours. Dinner hall table, bed firebox sealed. Words caged, unneeded. Night lamp soft, walls cozy. Herald dim, seance. Liked. Ledger, Troy envelope discarded unread. Herald none 48 hours, house calm. Me firm. Underlined, negotiate not peace traders. Dawn trash, Jack box porch week untouched. Curb bins. 9:15 truck. Clean out. Sorta. Gentle load. Sidewalk linger, space, no haunts. Hall closet Jack, wiped vacuumed pine silent. Rent returned. Evening Ben call. Uncle. Check. Solid. Meant. Pause. Lawyer papers in. Good. Sunday muffins. No work. Walnut. Porch hands lap wind hem. Chimes neighbor. Mine quit unnoticed. Quiet spoke. Sunday table 2 wanted. Ben noon bag marigolds. Walnut cinnamon bonus. Cheek kiss kitchen home no doorway hover. Tea plates butter generous, Herald salty scrape. Sat light. Shifted. Left. Nod no press. Muffins warm tea strong. Leaves hint color shed start. Dishes counter tea. Design community, over 60 program speaker stories. Teach freeloader eject. Laugh T snort. Lived unpolite. Less alone your voice. No rush. Left car vase window bright. House open. Closet box albums letters mother recipes. Sift slow laugh set new album, mine. Evening potatoes salmon candle flicker. Dog bark settle clock tick. Ledger, been good. Stable. Ready. Small, changed already. Twice under. Bed dreamless, want-filled silence no. Letter Thursday postmark near. Handwrite rare 30 years. Early voicemails impatient. Off-white thick slant left. Table morning dust walk soup. 3 porch tea careful open. No greet, 1 maybe. Unsure. Shut hard. Wonder told all, Ben Ellis lawyer laugh clever. Porch coffee unasked. Cabinet keep. Old film rain girl. Didn't grasp. Try maybe not. Fold no next, regret nostalgia apology love loneliness. Open, Troy's crowded. Wife despises. Misplace. Think return door locked maybe. Last. Talk find me. Or not. Guns August closet send or no. Indent press. Fold firebox finality not trash not desk. Bookshelf dust heavy men wait. Brown paper gasp and drop no note. Evening ledger, hate not. Invite never. Toast dinner book years candle quiet guest welcome. 41 days final. House forgets. Silence cat sun warm no want. Wake want. Tick hum scrape same breathe easy. Rearranged slight, armchair window light. Curtains linen flutter gentle thoughts. Ledger near full, locks deed account reclaimed. Small, rebuilt not survived. Ben Sunday's real silly mayo sandwiches. Dog shaggy anxious energy, Harold hated. Feet now quiet understand. Day's new savings window fund. Spring porch ocean sit no run. Night shawl stars clear once small now placed right chair long stand. Yard long listen wind no cars argument slams. Clear bell, thought cry left. Smiled not win loss understood leave hard stay gone did. And in that starlit quiet, a final realization settled over me like dawn, not just freedom from Harold, but a legacy to pass, one that might light the way for others trapped in shadows I'd escaped. The days stretched into weeks, each one a quiet victory, my routine unfolding like the pages of an old journal I'd finally decided to fill with my own handwriting. Mornings began with coffee on the porch, the steam curling up in the crisp air, no one to complain about the strength or the mess on the saucer. I'd watch the neighborhood stir, Mr. Ellis walking his terrier, the mail truck rumbling by, and feel a profound settledness in my bones, the kind that comes from knowing every brick of this house answer to me alone. I took to small projects, nothing grand, but meaningful in their simplicity. Repainted the fence a soft gray, the color of river stones, spending afternoons with brush in hand, the sun warming my shoulders. Harold would have called it a waste, said hire a kid, but the rhythm of the strokes cleared my mind, let memories surface and drift without anchoring. I thought of Clara often now, not with the ache of loss, but with gratitude for the lessons her passing had etched into me. Independence wasn't loneliness, it was sovereignty. Ben stopped by midweek unannounced, carrying a toolbox and a grin. Heard you mention the gutter, he said, already climbing the ladder before I could protest. We worked side by side, him handing nails, me securing brackets, conversation easy about fishing spots and his latest design gig. No mention of Harold, no probing, just presence, the way family should be. As he packed up, he paused. You're glowing, uncle. Whatever you're doing, keep it. I chuckled, a low rumble in my chest. Just living, son. Finally. The ledger filled steadily, fence done, gutter fixed, small investments shifted to higher yield. I added a line about community, Ben's suggestion lingering. Started drafting notes, not speeches, but fragments of truth. How silence can be strategy. How preparing in shadows builds stronger than shouting in light. Didn't know if I'd share them, but writing felt like polishing that old cabinet again, tending to what mattered. One evening, rain pattered soft on the roof, the kind that lulls rather than storms. I sat by the window with a bowl of stew, steam fogging the glass, and flipped through channels. Landed on an old western, the hero riding off alone into the sunset. Smiled at the irony, Harold hated them, said predictable. But there was comfort in the vastness, the choice to ride on. Phone stayed silent, a blessing now. I changed the number weeks back, quietly, no fanfare. Old contacts forwarded if needed, but the break was clean. Neighbors noticed the changes, subtle waves turning to chats over the fence. Mrs. Keller, widow like me once, was, brought over apple pie, lingered on the porch. House looks lively, she said, eyes kind. You do too. Shared stories of our spouses, laughs over their quirks, no pity, just recognition. Felt like joining a quiet club, one where survival was the membership card. But as the rain eased and I stepped outside to breathe the fresh-washed air, headlights swept the drive, slow, unfamiliar, hinting at a visitor who might unravel the piece I'd so carefully woven. The car was a rental, sleek and out of place on my gravel. Engine cut, door opened, and out stepped a man I hadn't seen in years, Harold's old army buddy, Tom, looking grayer but straight-backed. He carried a small duffel, hesitation in his step. Henry, he called, voice carrying across the yard. Hope I'm not intruding. Heard through the grapevine Harold's, taking a breather. I met him at the porch steps, coffee in hand, mine black, no sugar. Tom. Been a while. Come for the view or the gossip? He chuckled, a dry sound. Bit of both, maybe. Mind if we talk? Seated in the gliders, creaking under us, he spilled it gradual. Harold crashing at his place now, after Troy's wore thin. Moody as hell, Tom said. Talks big about coming back, but sounds like whistling in the wind. No plea from me, just listening, the rain-scented breeze cooling the evening. Tom eyed the house appreciatively. You've kept her shipshape. Harold always said you were the steady one. Steady's underrated, I replied, a warmth in my tone, trembling slight with age but firm. He nodded, shared a story from Nam, us young and foolish, and for a moment, nostalgia wrapped us soft. But I saw the undercurrent, Tom sent as scout, maybe. When he left, handshake lingering, think about it, Henry. Old friends patch things. Door shut, ledger open, Tom visit. Scout likely. No entry. Peace holds. Days blurred into purposeful rhythm. Joined a local woodcarving group at the community hall, Ben's nudge. First meeting, hands shaky on the knife, but the grain spoke, and soon a small eagle took shape, wings spread. Men my age, stories traded low, laughs genuine. One asked about my bachelor setup. Told them straight, built it myself, brick by brick. Nods of understanding, no judgment. Home evenings richer, salmon grilled with herbs from the yard, candle lit for the pleasure of flame dance. Read books long shelved, history tomes that fed the mind without demand. Sleep came deep, dreams of open roads, not chains. Ben brought the dog again, romp in the yard, muddy paws forgiven. We planned a fishing trip, just us, Lake Dawn. You deserve it, uncle, he said. Deserve, word settled warm. Yet as we cast lines into the still water days later, a call from the lawyer shattered the calm, a legal maneuver from Harold's camp, forcing me to defend the fortress I'd claimed as my own. The lawyer's voice was steady over the line, but the words landed like stones in still water. They filed a claim, Mr. Wilkins. Palimony suit, alleging common law entitlement. Weak, but we respond firm. My hand tightened on the receiver, not fear, but resolve, a grandfather's quiet fire. Do what needs doing. Airtight, remember. Back home, papers arrived certified, Harold's signature bold, Troy's as witness. Claims of contributions, emotional investment, right to half. I read on the porch, coffee cooling, a soft chuckle escaping. Contributions. The man who couldn't boil water without complaint. But I saw the desperation, the last grasp. Met the lawyer Wednesday, files spread. She outlined counters, deed solo, account separate, no cohabitation proof beyond residence. We bury them in documentation. Signed affidavits, Ben's statement ready. You've built impregnable, she said. This is noise. Court date set distant, but I prepared serene, ledger entries detailed, witnesses lined, neighbors noting my sole upkeep. Community group rallied subtle, offers of character letters. Felt supported, not isolated. Harold called once, voicemail quavering, Henry, let's talk man to man. No need for this. Deleted unheard. Tom texted apology, distanced. Troy's letter returned unopened. Trial day, courtroom cool, I sat straight in my best shirt, voice even recounting years of quiet strategy. Judge's eyes kind on this elder standing tall. Case dismissed swift, lack evidence, statute clear. Harold slumped, Troy pale. No gloat from me, just nod as I exited into sunshine. Home, porch swing, tea strong. House breathed fuller. Ben visited Victory Muffins. We laughed over walleye tails, dog at feet. Ledger final, claim crushed. Legacy secure. Rebuilt complete. Nights under stars, wind chimes new, my choice, gentle tinkle. Thought of journeys ahead, ocean sit, carving exhibit, stories shared with those over 60, voices like mine trembling warm with hard-won wisdom. He thought I'd shatter alone. I flourished. Not survival, thriving. If this tale stirs you, carry it gentle. One steady choice, your own. Life waits not for slams, but for the quiet step forward.